Let's bring in Senator Marco Rubio on the Republican side. He's the chairman of the Senate Small Business and Entrepreneurship Committee. He has everything to do with the PPP program and is concerned because we're running out of money there. We got to get some money there, and there could be something brewing with Steve Mnuchin and Nancy Pelosi. So, Senator, I'd like you to weigh in on that. But first, when the president was told last night that he's done nothing for small business jobs, do you think Joe Biden's accusation was correct?
Well, the first thing I thought of is the Democrats who helped us craft and supported the PPP program must be saying, wait, hold on a second. What about PPP that we worked on together in a bipartisan way that Steve Mnuchin from the administration was a big part of as well? I mean, we sat in that room and along with the help of the administration, couldn't have been more helpful. We drafted a bipartisan proposal that's helped, millions of people keep their jobs and hundreds of thousands of small businesses stay afloat. And we're working to do that again. We need to do that again. And the only reason why it's not happening yet is because of the way Pelosi and Schumer have sort of frozen the process. So the first thought I had was, boy, he needs to talk to the people in the Senate and the House that are supporting him because they were a big part of it.
Are you optimistic at all, just to follow up real quick, that something's going to get done? Because they've been talking every day for the last 3 or 4 days.
Well, I feel a little bit more optimistic about it, and simply because I know that Secretary Mnuchin's been talking to Speaker Pelosi over in the House about what they're going to do. Obviously, it still has to be able to pass in the Senate. I don't think there's any issue with getting PPP passed. I think the issue is they want it to be a part of a bill that has other things, and it's the other things that there's no agreement on. But we can't wait till November to do this. This is not something you can just put off until after the election and deal with it then. Right. I mean, in Florida right now, you see hotel workers who have lost their jobs or are about to get laid off. Disney's about to have a huge number of layoffs.
28,000.
It's devastating to these families. I was raised by 2 hotel workers. I can't imagine what would have happened to us or what our life would have been like had those jobs been lost. So I hope they will stop playing games and get this thing done. We got to get this done.
Well, something that Joe Biden and a lot of Democrats would like to put off is confirming Amy Coney Barrett. He would like to see the whole thing put on ice until after the election. But that is not how it works, Senator, according to the president last night.
So I will tell you very simply, we won the election. Elections have consequences. We have the Senate, we have the White House, and we have a phenomenal nominee, respected by all, top academic, good in every way. And by the way, the Democrats, they wouldn't even think about not doing it. If they had, the only difference is they'd try and do it faster. There's no way they would give it up.
Senator, is the president right? If the Democrats were in your shoes, they'd do exactly the same thing?
Yeah, and look, here's what people have this all twisted, okay? In 2016, they keep comparing it to Merrick Garland. Merrick Garland was not going to be confirmed. The Senate was not going to, a Republican Senate was not going to confirm someone that doesn't fit our criteria. What they were asking for at that time wasn't even that he be confirmed. They were asking that he have a hearing. And the Republican position is, look, if this was 2 years into the Obama term, you can make that argument. But it's the end of his term, the end of his second term. He's not even coming back. He's not even accountable to the voters. We're not going to waste our time on a hearing for a nominee that in the end is not going to be confirmed. That's a very different situation we have here right now. And this vacancy has occurred. The president has a constitutional, not right, obligation to nominate someone. It's someone that I support, that the majority of senators and Republican senators are going to be able to support because she meets the criteria of everything we look for in a Supreme Court justice. So why wouldn't we confirm someone like that? It was no mystery that if you elected Republicans to the Senate and Donald Trump to the presidency 4 years ago, 3 years ago, 3.5 years ago, that we would put people up that were strict constructionists, that were going to interpret the Constitution according to its original meaning. So, I mean, people know that, and we're very, very clear about that. I've certainly been very clear about it.
This DNI John Ratcliffe letter that was just declassified reveals that President Obama, his administration at least, was briefed on the claims that Hillary Clinton was drumming up Russia collusion to vilify President Trump and also to distract from her emails. This is part of the DNI John Ratcliffe letter. According to his handwritten notes, former Central Intelligence Agency Director Brennan subsequently briefed President Obama and other senior national security officials on the intelligence, including the alleged approval by Hillary Clinton on July 26, 2016, of a proposal from one of her foreign policy advisors to vilify Donald Trump by stirring up a scandal claiming interference by Russia's security services. What is your reaction after reading that?
Well, here's the reaction, and we have to understand why it's relevant. First of all, a key point, and Ratcliffe makes it in the letter, they don't know what they had in their hands was true or just Russians putting stuff out there in order to sow confusion and chaos. That's not what's relevant. What's relevant is the intelligence community had it, and they gave it to the FBI and said, hey, we came across this. You guys need to look at it. And what did the FBI do with it? Because they also had a dossier in their hands, which we now know was highly questionable, probably a fraud. They're sitting on this thing, or entirely a fraud. Lots of it we know wasn't true. And why did they give one thing more weight than the other? How did they weigh these two things together? How did they balance? Wouldn't you at a minimum say, hold on a second, before we take this document serious, let's also take this other thing serious and balance it out together? And we know that Brennan updated the president on it. But ultimately, this is an FBI issue. The intelligence community said, we came across this, we sent it to the FBI. What did you guys do with it? This is the same FBI that was willing to go to court and vouch for a dossier that it turns out they should not have done, but apparently ignored this information and didn't even look into what it meant in the bigger picture. And that's very, very disturbing, because we'll see what happens in the hearing today. But what it lends credibility is to the argument that there were some people in the FBI who were obsessed with reaching an outcome and are only going to pay attention to the facts that strengthen their pre-existing outcome that they wanted.
Well, thanks for putting on the AirPods and visiting us this morning. Appreciate it, Senator Rubio.
All right, thank you. Thanks for not interrupting me.
Yeah, no problem. I wanted to change formats just a little bit.
That's already been done.